Hello guys. Right, let's get the music down. There we go. An instant raid by Hayes as well. Hi Hayes. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I can't hear the music at all on mine, so I'm kind of guessing at the levels. So I think this is alright. I saw the videos you were watching at the end there. They look quite funny. I need to look that guy up and watch a couple of them. Hi to everybody who's joined with Hayes, and hi to everybody who's here at the start. So we've got Amok, Steps, Dr. Miz, Colt. Hi guys. Hayes obviously just raided. Quasar, Sam Coupe. Sam Coupe. Fred M. Slonica. Master Blaster. Coconut. I think it was MC Pitman Hayes. Thank you for the host, Coconut. Yes, my bot's very simple. My bot doesn't have quite the commands that Hayes does yet. I'm still working on my new bot, but when that's done, it still probably won't be up to the same level. And I have got a glass of wine. I had one glass of wine left, so I thought I'd have that. Yeah, and listen doesn't work as well. I do have the suggestion window as well, so that's still active, and I do keep that open. Okay, so Nebulus. So let me bring that up. Oh, that's not it. That's Doc. Hang on. There we go. Andy says evening won't be much help this week. I was playing Warcraft at 6 this morning before bed. Oh dear. I've stayed clear of WoW Classic. I'm actually not sure I'd enjoy it very much, to be honest. Yeah, just the one glass of wine, Dr. Miz. I'm not gonna go crazy tonight. I do have work tomorrow morning, and I'm supposed to be training people. So, well, not training, like pair programming with people. So it's probably a good idea to keep my head clear. Okay, so I took one of the I can't remember which version it was actually. I took one of the versions of Nebulus. I couldn't extract a clean version directly, so what I did is I just loaded it up in the emulator. In fact, I'll show you how I save it. Let me load the version I've created and I'll show you how I save it out. So this is the version I've created, which is direct loads into it. And then all you have to do to save out a version is you go into the monitor. You probably can't actually see this monitor because it's quite small text. And then you save by typing S, the name of a file name, test.prg, 0 for your device number. So if you use 8 or 9, it will save a D64. If you use 0, it will save to your hard drive on the computer, and then your memory location. So 0801 all the way up to the last usable memory location, which is F9, and then that saves the file out. And then when you've got the file, it looks something like this, and when you load it in, I need to get rid of the monitor, you'll see nothing happens because there is no entry point. So what I had to do then, I took Infiltrator. Yeah, the text is really small on that. I don't use the monitor on that. I'll be using the debugger in a minute, and you should be able to see things a little bit easier. So I load it into this disassembler, which I can actually up the font size on, so let's up it a little bit. Click disassemble, then go to disassembler, and you can see where all the code is in this light green section at the top here. So I skipped to this area because it looked like a kind of sensible block, and then I just scrolled through to the beginning, and I found there's all this kind of data here, which looks like blank data. And then on a nice boundary, there's this command that loads and then jumps to an address. So I assumed this was the entry point, which is 32768 in decimal. So to try that out, SYS 32768, and sure enough, it's there. Then once you know what the entry point is, you can very easily use Sublime. Let me make the text a bit bigger in here. No, I was coding all week. I was doing .cosmos 2 this week with my text size this big. I'd completely got used to it, so I was just coding at a really huge text size. for a week until I realised. So what this file does, this is the same as the cracks that we did for Airwolf, the same that we did for Last V8 and Barbarian. It just creates a file with two segments in it, a base segment and a patch segment. The base segment loads the original file in, and then the patch segment just adds an entry point for it. And now when I run that, it should just load straight up. And there you go. So now we can do anything in this text file and it will be implemented in the game as well. So before we start hacking around at the game, let's have a look at how the game actually works, because I think this is this has been quite a requested game actually. So at least 3 or 4 different people have requested this. So let's load it up into the debugger and we can have a proper look at what's going on. I haven't done this yet, so I have no idea what to expect. Okay, I don't know why that didn't. Oh, because I need to touch it. There we go. I need to enable the joystick. I'm probably going to die straight away because, as Hayes pointed out, is as soon as you start this game, you immediately have to do something or you're going to die. So I'm fully expecting to die straight away on this. How do I start? Joystick on? Oh, it's that one, isn't it? There we go. Oh, it's also on fast. I need to slow it down. So let's get somewhere safe and then have a look at what's going on. Actually, there is no safe spot, is there? Because those enemies spawn. Oh, that sprite's incorrect there. So I've already broken that sprite by doing the patch. Maybe. Might have to get a different version of this. But at least I know where the restart is. Could we have some MC Pitman tunes in the background? I'd have to go and look for them and turn them into MP3s and stuff, but eventually, maybe. The new bot is going to be great, but the new bot is only going to run SID tunes, but you are going to be able to vote for them. And then we will have kind of a user-created playlist going. Oh yes, you did actually, Steps, didn't you? Let me have a look at that snapshot because that might be useful. Let me check on Discord. So, forgot you sent me this. There you go. Oh, you sent me a snapshot. Ah, that's right. You sent me a snapshot at the top as well, didn't you? Okay, let's. Did you have the cheats on or off? Because I don't want the cheats on for this. Okay, let's see if I can load them in. Snapshots. Snapshot downloads. That one? Yeah, there we go. I guess that's just the normal mode. Let's just see if that. So it doesn't seem to have done anything. We'll know if this sprite is wrong on this side, because the sprite was been a bit. Oh no, it looks right now. Yeah, that sprite's fine now, so I'm going to save that. Snapshot 1, 2 and 3. And then I'm going to save the one at the top, just so that we can switch very quickly between the two, see what's going on. Oh, well that's not a friendly snapshot. Let's try loading it again. I'm going to load it, then I'm immediately going to save it. So I'll save that as 4, 5 and 6, there we go. Yeah, we looked at the barbarian background sassy. It's a very productive stream actually. We managed to get quite a lot. So Maybe you need to fill 0, 1 with 34 before the save, and maybe so you capture no basic ROM. I don't think it does capture basic ROM. I think it will only capture RAM. It will capture whatever's open, I think, so yeah. It's fine, we can work with these snapshots anyway. So what I can do is if I load in the first snapshot and restart, so right, so we're down there, just let it die. Hang on, is that the first snapshot? It doesn't seem like the first snapshot. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, let me die and go back to it. Actually, it doesn't matter because when I start at the right place, it should be the same. So I'm gonna save this out again. Oh, stupid keyboard. Now where on earth is the... Oh, there we go. Nebulus.prg. So I believe the command is exactly the same in here as well. I don't know why it's not. Well, that's... what? Okay, it's forcing me to write it like this for some reason. Fine, fine, I don't care. 0801 to FFF9. So PRG from address. Oh, okay, it's a bit different in this one. So from address, so PRG. Ah, that's why it's doing the weird things. To address Nebulus.prg. That's exactly what I did. What are you talking about? Do I have to put quotes around it? Oh. Seriously. What am I doing wrong there? Is the music a bit loud? I can lower the music down a little bit if you want. Let's put it there. Okay, let's try it without quotes. I don't know why that's not saving. That's really weird. I've done this before and it's been fine. I'll do it manually again. 0801. Or maybe I have to put the... like that. It's doing some strange things with the... Okay, it doesn't really matter. We've got a version in here. We can always replace it with a different version through Vice at some point. I'm not going to mess around with that too much. So let's take a look at what's going on. So let's get to... You really don't have long, do you? That first enemy comes at you really quickly. Okay, so let me pause it and let's go and have a look in the Vic register. Okay, so the only sprites are the enemies and the player. So the first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to have a look if we can turn off sprite collision in here. I think you can somewhere. Nope. Tape. No, maybe it's not those. It's not going to be UI, is it? I would have thought it would have been that one. Coverage freeze. Display recording. Execute where December. No, it's not that. Okay, can't turn it off in here. You can definitely turn it off in Vice. So let's have a quick look in Vice just to see if it's using sprite collision or not. Because that would be a very quick win if it is using sprite collision. Let me turn off some of these. I've got a lot of open folders that I shouldn't have. And right, there we go. I need to turn the sound off as well. I don't want to listen to the music over and over again. Okay, so if you go in Vice and go in Vic2 settings, you can turn off sprite to sprite collisions. So let's do that first and just see if it is indeed using sprite to sprite collision, because if it is, we can search for that routine and just disable it completely. Oh, I'm very good at this game. The RG isn't supposed to be replaced by a value. Okay. Okay, let's see if this kills me or not. So it does kill me. So it's not using normal sprite to sprite collision, so that's not going to be as easy to turn off as I was hoping. Okay, that's fine. So let's have a look at the effect that's going on. So if I go up here, you can see the kind of characters as they're laid out. They're definitely all characters. None of these are sprites. In fact, if we go into which mode is it? That mode. We can see the character set, and it is what I suspected. It's basically every combination of brick and platform, either on its own or combined, laid out in a grid like this. And so what's happening is, for every position that the tower is in, it's having to calculate how to draw this row. And these platforms will be moving independently of these background bricks. So it has to work out, okay, at this position, let's go down actually and have a look. Oh, interestingly, these aren't on. I would have thought these would have been on whole characters spaces, but they're not. That's surprising, actually. I would have thought they would have been, but they don't seem to be, unless I'm looking at something slightly wrong. No, they're definitely not. But there could be a scroll value in play here as well, so this could be scrolled up by a couple of characters, a couple of pixels, which would make more sense, actually. So let's ignore the vertical scroll and just look at them horizontally. So you can see here, this platform is made up of the left piece of the platform, two middle sections, and then a right section that also starts the next platform as well. And this kind of pattern repeats across here. They're animated in a very strange way, actually. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see whether this character set. So let's keep our eye on this character set. I don't think it's going to change. I'm thinking what they're doing is they're just picking one of these characters to display in each location based on whether it's a single brick, the middle of a brick. So this would be, for instance, the middle of a brick. This would be the edge of a brick, and so on. And whether or not it's got a platform over the top of it as well. But I'm going to press play. I'm probably going to die almost instantly because there's a sprite over there, but we should be able to see if I try and... I think I can run at the same time. Let's see. Yeah, I can. Okay. Yeah, so the character set isn't changing. This isn't changing. So this is just some very clever character set building, basically. The map is built on the fly. So there's probably some data in memory which stores where the doors are, because the bricks on the tower, they're just a repeating pattern, so that's quite easy to work out. You know, given any rotation of the power of the tower, where the bricks start, where the joins are for each row of bricks. There'll be one for each, for one set for the odd rows, one set for the even rows. Then once you know them, you just need to superimpose any doors over the top of those, and then you need to superimpose platforms over the top of those. It's actually quite a clever way of doing it, I think. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm just randomly putting numbers all over the screen. I don't want to do that. Let's do it from here. Yeah, it's really quite clever. There's there's not a lot going on with the sprites. In fact, I'd be surprised if there's even a multiplexer here. It doesn't look like there is. Yeah, it's. I think I'm gonna show you what I think it's doing. I'm gonna open up Charpad, and I'm gonna demonstrate what I think it's doing in a very, very simple way. So I'm just gonna create a couple of characters. I'm gonna show you what I think's going on. So if you imagine, let's do it in high res. I'm not too fussed about multicolors for now. So if you imagine just a line representing a brick, so we can place that. Let's turn tile system off. Yeah. And let's make the first character not. That's. And also let's make the background not that horrible colour. There we go. So if you imagine we want to make a brick pattern, all we'd need to do is we'd need a character with a line like that, and a floor maybe, and then one with just the floor, and then you can basically copy that character like so. That one, yeah. So you do it on diagonal. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a little area just to demonstrate what I think's happening. So you've got a simple brick pattern there. Now all you have to do to make that look like a tower is make the edges come in a bit. So what you could do, let's zoom in a bit. Oops. So if you move these over, put them there like that. And then instead of, hang on, I've missed something here, haven't I? Yes, that should be that character. There we go. Okay, so you've got a simple brick pattern like this. Then to make the edges, you just need to shorten the bits at the edge. I mean, this is very, very simplified. This would be done with, you know, another character, maybe with something like that on alternate lines as well. So you might put that there, like so. And then all you have to do is move, as you're moving things across, you just have to make sure that these animate a little bit on the edges. Then, for the stuff that goes over the top, so if you imagine the same thing, but now we put a solid block over it like this. You can, I was going to delete the edges because it's going to make it simpler if I just demonstrate this without the edges on. And put that character in here. To make that move across, all you need to do is have another version with it like that, and then you put that there, and then on this one you'd have it like this. So it's really, they're not doing anything spectacular. They're just being very clever about how they select these characters. So they've probably got combinations of brick pattern and platform for every possible position they can be in, and then they read the map data. They draw the tower, the bricks on the tower first, and then maybe superimpose the doors on their locations, and then when they calculate the bricks just travel a little bit further than the width of the tower. So for every rotation, for every moment a brick goes from here to here, a platform will actually go one further on each side. So this platform would go from here to here in the time it would take this line to go from here to here. And by just selecting the correct combination of characters, they can make it look like the whole thing's moving across on a higher 3D plane than the others. I'd like to try that effect sometimes. It's quite impressive. And actually, when I think about it, it's quite a simple effect. It's not that complicated. I think the most complicated thing about it is probably going to be the maths involved in calculating that extra 3D layer on the top. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in this game that needs to be... I think that kind of explains most of it. And actually, if you look at the character set... So, where was the character set again? It's actually really clever how they've designed this game. Oh god, I can't find the character... Oh, there it is. It's really clever how they've designed this. So if I go into the game, look at the character set at this location, wherever it is. Why can't I see... do I need to go back to here and click down here? There we go. The character set is all apart from a little section here, which is obviously the floor, the water down here. It's all just vertical lines and combinations of vertical lines. And if you look, that is actually all this level is. Everything in the level is made from vertical lines. Every platform, every brick, even these that go up, they're just vertical lines. And of course, with a vertical line, it's easy to make it rotate because there's nothing to actually move. Oh, damn it. Oh, I could say I can't play this game though. So it's just very, very clever design. Whoever came up with the original idea, the original concept for the graphics was quite clever with this. And the other thing I noticed as well is the sprites are aware of what side of the tower they're on, so you'll notice the sprites switch priority between in front of the characters and behind the characters. So as you rotate the tower, enemies will move with the tower, but once they get to the edge, they will start moving back the other way, but either in front or behind the tower, depending on where they are. I do read the chat, and the gameplay is freaking amazing, so... I will be doing a Turrican 2 Dissect at some point. Nobody suggested it yet, I don't think. But I would definitely like to do that. I'd also like to do a level designer for Turrican, so... Yeah, if you practice at it and get good at it, it's a very good game. If you don't know what you're doing, it can be a very frustrating experience, and one you probably don't want to do too much. So, okay, let's have a look at some stuff in here. So let's start with the easy thing. Let's turn the timer off. Actually, Hay suggested, what was it? Not turn the timer off, but to have it not kill you, basically. So when the timer runs down to 0, it doesn't kill you. You just get no bonus. Which would be fine, I think. There are no leaps of faith in Nebulus, just leaps of death. I think I've only ever got off the first level once, and the second level just killed me so quickly. I got so frustrated. Yeah, Great Guyana Sisters was Manfred Trenz as well, and I think he did Turrican out of frustration at the kind of the problems he had with trying to sell Guyana Sisters, because Nintendo stomped all over it, and you can actually see a lot of Mario influence in Turrican, like the hidden blocks full of power-ups, and you can jump on. There's these little enemies on the first level that are a bit like Goombas, and you can jump on their heads as well, kill them. He's definitely thought about Mario a lot while he's making that game. And yeah, the characters in the bullets in Turrican are all character sprites as well. A very impressive amount as well, and especially considering he's also got a really good multiplexer in there. Okay, the wine's gone. I'm down to lemonade now. I have no backup wine, unfortunately. Backup wine. Yeah, you know you got a problem when you need backup wine. Okay, so let's have a look for these values. Let's have a look and see where the timer's updating. I'm gonna start by looking for. I'm just gonna look for these values in BCD format. It could be that it's just two BCD values, so let's just have a look through memory for them. I'll do the same again up to there. So we'll just look for 0882 first. Okay, there's a couple of areas where that is. Let's start the game, pause it, and see if we get the same values when we search again with a different number. So this time we'll search for 0995 B22D. Okay, that doesn't look. Okay, let's start the timer again. 0980. Okay, that's not how it's stored. I can be honest and objective to say the gameplay is questionable, to say the least. Are we still talking about? Oh, you're talking about Last Ninja 2. Yeah, Last Ninja 2 is. I love that game. I think it's a beautiful game, but I'm just absolutely awful at it. Or any of the Last Ninjas for that matter. I never got very far in them. Okay, so let's search for the numbers individually. See if they're stored. No, let's try searching for 98 on its own, and then 00. Let's try backwards. Okay, that's okay. I don't particularly trust that one, but let's start again and have a look. 8704. Alright, let's have a look in zero page, see if we can see it counting down in there. Not seeing anything. There are a few numbers in here that are kind of ticking around, but I don't think any of them look like timers, to be fair. This one. No, I don't think it's any. Oh, hang on, what's that one? No. Okay, so I'm going to try the old-fashioned way. Actually, let me hunt for the value in non-BCD. I'm going to just... What am I doing? I'm pressing the wrong buttons all over the show here. Okay, so let's check for 99, or 97 there. So 97 is... Oh, what's that in hexadecimal? 61. Okay, this is going to throw up so many values. Okay, I can at least. It's a bearable list, so it's. That's not a bearable list. Okay. That's a bearable list. That was this 6E. Where's that? That's this one here. I'm gonna keep my eye on that value actually. No, it's not that, is it? Okay. And let's check that. So 93 is 5D. Okay, is there any crossover of these values? 157C, no. DEF 7, no. Then it jumps to 6, 6A, 5F, no, 6B. 7, 8, 9, no, it's not looking good. But this is fine. I think it's good practice to to work out how the code is actually displaying them in this area. So we'll do that in a minute if this doesn't work. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? These are all unique. There's no clashes here in any of these. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what's the white bar on the top going back and forth? White bar on the top. What's the white bar on the top? I'm looking at some kind of timer, maybe doing anything from the side. Really? I'm not sure what you're on about. If you mean this, it's because I accidentally put a character in there. In the character map screen, wherever that's gone now. I accidentally drew something here, and now it's kind of stayed. I can't delete it. That's what you mean. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. Well, no more life count in the game is too mean for that. What do you mean no more oh, you mean no more lives? Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely get rid of the live counter as well. I'm going to do the timer first though. So, right, the way we're going to do this, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. So, these values are characters. They get updated by the game every frame, pretty much. So, what we're going to do, we're going to work out where that's actually happening. So, if we just have a look at what this location is. So, the screen is at 7,000, as we can see over here. At least for this area here. It might not be here. It's double buffering down here. You can see it flicking. See when it flicks between these two values, it means it's double buffering. It means that this area of the screen is being drawn from two different places in memory, which is probably how they managed to achieve this effect smoothly as well. So I think the documentation said that it was running at 25 frames a second. It was in the fifth window of the ones on the bottom. Window of the ones on the bottom. I'm completely lost. I'm not sure what you mean there. Sorry, Dr. Miz. I've gone through so many screens now. Did you mean which screen did you mean? Did you mean on the oops? Did you mean on this screen, on the sprite screen? Was window the ones on the bottom. This one. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. I do see some stuff kind of moving around here. But yeah, let's stop this timer first. So the way we're going to do it, we're going to work out when these values are being updated. So we'll do this one because it changes the most of. Well, actually, let's do the second one because this is the bit that I guess we want to look at. So that character. So the screen starts at 7,000. It's on the second row, and it is 19. Is that 19? Yeah, 19 characters across. So we're looking at. Let's just check that's not in hexadecimal. It's not. Okay, good. So that would be. Let's get to this screen. So we need to look for 7,000, but plus one row and 19 characters, which is 3B. There we go. CF15. So let's pause this code and jump to CF14. 3B17. So it's not that area, but this is probably going to draw back a few as well. So let's go back 1, 2, 3, 4 characters back, and that will give us 3, 7. And that's a bit different. And then jump to that location. Yeah, this looks like it. So it's loading the values in these locations and it's storing them on this point here. And this is taking... Okay, let's go and have a look what's in load accumulator with a value indexed with X, store it here, indexed with Y. Okay, I think these are the actual characters per row. So it's this value here, whatever is jumping to this location, B68. So I'm gonna start the game with that breakpoint in, and I'm gonna see what the accumulator is when it reaches that point. So let's do that. So is that immediately stopped? It says the accumulator is at 1. Accumulator is at 0. 0, 0, 0. Now it's at A0. Okay, this is not making an awful lot of sense. Yeah, this is definitely where it's writing to those addresses, because what it's doing, it's writing 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's writing to a screen address, then the one next to it, then the one underneath it, and then the one. So it's doing an entire character, and then it's increasing the Y by 2. So it's moving on to the next one here. So what we'll see is, well, we should see, but we're not, because the Y registry is 22 for some reason. What we should see is when we start, is this value go 0, 2, but it's not, it's going 27, 36, that's a bit weird. So it's making the tag. No, this is just doing these letters up here. So if, for instance, if I can I change this here? No, I probably can't. If I change this value, I can make the numbers display different. It won't actually change anything. I'm going to see where this routine's being called from, because I think this routine is probably being called with some values from the timer. So they're actually close by. So we've got B65, which is here, and that's saying load Y with 8. So that looks like this section here, and that's loading from 64, which is this one. Well, that says 91, not 92, or 99. No. Oh, and with F, so it's just taken the lower bit of that, load Y with 8, so that should be this bit, but it's not. Okay, let's have a look at the other section. B6BC is this one here. Again, load the value in 64, divide it by 4. Oh, so this is just taking the upper byte here, 9. So that must be this here. So what happens if I change that to 11 and then restart? What? This makes no sense. I think these might be temporary values here, because these don't seem to be having a direct effect on anything. Actually, look, it is counting down. Oh, it is. It's these two values. Oh, wow. That's time up. Okay. So it's these two values, 64 and 65. Okay, that's good. So now we need to check to see. So what we want is for when the time runs out, for it not to immediately quit. We want it to just stay at 0. And then I think if you, well, we can try. We can make it stop at 0. Work out how to do that. Then load Steps' snapshot at the top of the tower, and see See if that actually will let you finish the level with just no bonus. So let's work out where this value is being compared. So the upper one, it's going to be this. This is going to be checked to see if it's 0. So let's go back to this location because it might be related to displaying these values as well. Suggested having the timer count up and make a time attack. Ah, that would be kind of cool actually. That would be kind of cool. Speed runs. I still think Hayes should play this until he completes it. That's the rules now. She should do that. B6A2. So these values are being read all over the place here around here. That seems to be doing some kind of reset of the values. So we're looking for comparisons. There is a comparison here, but this is comparing this value. I don't know what that value is. But it immediately exits if it's doing that. I think this line here will actually 65, 64. Yeah, this line here is what's making the counter tick down. But it's not doing any comparison. It's not comparing if it's negative or not. I wonder what the actual end is. So if this is right, let's try and find the end condition. So if we change, where is that subtract 1 again? Where's it gone? There. If we change this byte here, why can't I click on that? Oh. If I change that byte to subtract 0, so now the timer shouldn't tick down. I hope. Let me write these values down because I'll forget them otherwise. It's very quickly becoming just full of random hexadecimal numbers. Is this pad? So that was B689. Which was 01, change it to 0, and that should stop counter. I think it is anyway. I should probably test it before I write it down. Okay, so let's start again. Let's clear our breakpoint. Okay, so the timer is stopped now. We don't want to stop the timer. Yeah, we don't want to stop the timer. What we want to do is prevent it from causing a game over condition. So let's see what happens if we just change the timer in here to 0. Okay, it immediately goes to time up. So if both of these are 0, then it quits the game. So let's start again. Just trying to see if there's any other conditions that could cause that. So 10 is this bit here, 00 is this bit. So it was in BTD. I don't know why it didn't find it. Or maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, let's change that to 99. Yep, so that works. Okay. The 99 makes it die. Okay, I think with a BCD number 49 is fine. 50, no, 51. Oh, maybe not then. 89. 89 is time up. Why is that then? 89. Oh, because it's still okay. With BCD, negative numbers are still negative in the hexadecimal sense. So I think if this number becomes 79, it's fine. If I make it 80, it'll be game over. Right, okay. So it's a 0 or a negative condition. Give more points to the shrimps in the bonus level. Okay, yeah, we can take a look at that as well. I just want to work out what is going on with this at the moment. So let's look for let's see, branch if equal, or yeah, let's look for a branch if equal next to that memory value. So let me bring up the opcode list. So we're going to use this opcode list to find branches that happen immediately after reading that value. So we've got the value 65 and the value 66, and we're looking for branch if equal or branch if not equal. So branch if equal is F0, branch if not equal is D0. So let's do a search for 64 with F0. And there's a couple there, and there's just that one there. Let's try. Okay, they don't seem to be in the same areas, although these ones do. F1, so let's go to have a look at that one. F1 C E. No, they're not. They're loading. Yeah, they're loading the whole thing. It's not that. F1 DD, also not that. I think this looks like kernel functions actually. I think this is kernel functions. Let me scroll to the end. Oh no, it's not. Okay, it's not kernel functions. Any more crossover in these? F4 area maybe? Okay, in that case I'm going to find all instances of that value being loaded in instead. So I'm going to look for A5, 64 and go through these addresses. So go to 80B9. Okay, that's interesting. So it's taking the value, it's taking this value, it's ORing it with this value, and if it's equal it's going to 80. See, it's this one, this is it. This is our game over function. So I can change that now to 2 NOPs. So 80BD I think is the game over function. So let me just write what it was first. This is 006. And instead I'm going to find it in here. And I'm going to change it for 2 NOP functions. So NOP is EA. Oops. Oh shit, what did I just do then? Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I've typed the wrong value in there. Okay, I have no idea what the hell it's going to do now. I might have to reload this. In fact, I will test this, and if it works I'm just going to quickly jump into a snapshot and test it. Yeah, I have no idea what it's doing now. Okay, so our value was at 64 and 65, so now if I make these 0, there shouldn't be a game over. Which there isn't. Cool, so that's the game over function. So let me reload that snapshot. Okay, and if we make that change again, 80BD, so these two values should be EA, EA, and now the timer won't matter. So the timer can run out now, and that's fine. I'm gonna naturally let this run out. Let's see if I can even stay alive that long. And then we'll have a short break, and then we'll do infinite live cheat, and then I think we'll have a look at increasing the points for those. Oh damn! I've got to press on the screen. Increasing the points for those shrimps on the bonus level. As soon as steps is very kindly provided as a snapshot that leads into there. So let's see if I can even last this long. All I've got to do is go through this door when something comes near me. I just want to see if the timer naturally runs out, do I not die? Which means 70 seconds of me dodging through doors, hopefully without dying. Which should be an easy task, but I'm probably the world's worst Nebulus player. Plus it's 60 seconds, I've got to kind of keep talking or else you're just staring at me, staring at a screen. A recent poll on a forum, people voted Nebulus as the best Houston game. I'm trying to think about other Houston games actually. I know I'd know them if I saw them, but I have a hard time sometimes connecting publishers with games, except for some of the really big publishers like Thalamus and Ocean. Their games tend to stick out a bit more. Yeah, Steps Hayes was talking about that today. There's a few people on Hayes' stream who are NES players and would have played it on NES. I never saw it on the NES, so I can't comment on it, but I'd assume they use a very similar approach to the technique. They've all got quite similar hardware. In fact, it's probably more suited to things like the NES than it is to this to the C64. Although the C64 does have a really nice way of doing scrolling, which it's only really using vertically here, but you know. And there we go. So the time has run out, and I'm not dead, so that's good. So there is a time up routine that was being pointed to by that. So I'm going to go and stick that in our little piece of code. So all we have to do to patch the code is we just put in this is enough to start the game, and then we just put in our location that we want to replace, which is this one, and what we want to put there is 2 knobs like that. And now if I start that in Vice, I mean, apart from the fact that the sprite is all messed up, I don't know why that one enemy sprite is messed up, but I should be. I have no idea what that is about actually, why that is messed up. But it's fine, we can grab another version and do that. So I'm going to take 5 minutes, and then when I come back we'll sort the lives out. We'll give infinite lives so we can't die. All we can do is just keep restarting on the same level all the time. And then we'll start playing around with the scores for things, and maybe trying to make these platforms a little bit different. I think that's going to be tricky though, because of the way that the way that the game is built up. There's not really an awful lot we can do with those platforms to make them different. We'd have to work out how it knows which ones are transparent and how it builds that list up, so that could be a tricky one. Funny thing, you had Dissecting Nebulus a few days ago. Someone twitched a Commodore fan game that plays exactly like Nebulus but with a frog. Some would argue that this is a weird frog as well. It's not a frog, it's an alien called Pogo. It's a very weird looking alien. Okay, so I'm going to take 5 minutes, I'll be right back, and then we'll have a go at adding a infinite lives cheat and having to play around elsewhere in the code. Alright, be right back guys. Yeah, time for a quick smoke that was. How are you going to successful business model? What business model is that? Pay £9 to play retro games, but kind of save and use codes. Well, oh, is that the Ant stream? I did wonder about that. But considering retro games are quite easy to get and emulate anyway, I didn't see much point in paying monthly for a service like that. Have Nebulus, so yeah. Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be much point. I think anybody who's into the retro scene knows of things like RetroPie is an easy way to play all of those games. And if you're into a specific system, you've probably either got the system and the tools to load it from an SD card, or you can emulate it on your PC anyway. So I don't think there's much point really. I want to show you what I got today as well. So Hayes was showing you the magazine that was on the front cover of. I don't know how well this is gonna translate on the stream, but I got some lenticular cards printed of the cover. Actually, it looks a lot better on camera than it does in real person. So yeah, so I've got a couple of those. I'm gonna frame one for myself, and I'm gonna send one to Vinny as a thank you. So I think they look really good. And we might be including some lenticular stuff with as like nice feelies with the game when we finally release it. You know, like cup coasters or something like that, because it suits it quite well. So alright, let's have a go at doing the lives then. Actually, let's get a proper image that works, because this one isn't quite right. There's a sprite missing and I don't like it. So let's go and grab a version from CSDB. I don't know which version Hayes was using. I'm guessing probably the Remember, is it REM version? And they're usually the best ones. There they are here. They usually have the most cracks in and stuff, so have a look. Oh, thank you for the subscription. Oh, do you know what, Hayes? I'm still waiting on two emotes. Let's give them a try. I don't think, nah, it's not going to work. I've got this emote will be an emote eventually, and this will be an emote eventually, but neither of them are there at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, just the shallow dot one. Look at him shooting Clyde as well. Yeah, thank you for this resub. It's appreciated. Okay, let's try the Remember one. Okay, let me download that. I'm just gonna load it straight in, and I couldn't get a clean version of this. I think I did try this one, so I'm just gonna load it up and go through all the intros and get to the game, and then I'm just gonna save out the memory. Yeah, that's actually what my it's called Squint as well. No way. that's funny. That's funny that I've chosen the same ending. It's taking a long time to load. Put it in warp mode. Is that in warp mode? What's going on? Yeah, I found a really nice still of me with one eye kind of closed like that, trying to read the screen. So I thought, yeah, that'll make for quite a nice thing. There's nothing you can think of I don't have an emote for already. Yeah, I can believe that. Hi Acmefin, have you just joined? Did I not see you before? No, welcome to the stream. Oh, held. Why did it hold a... Oh, okay. Yes, I was having a fag, but unfortunately you can't say that word in chat. Automod kicks it off, unfortunately. Okay, high score or trainer. So we want high score. Do we want to reset the high scores? No. Okay. So we're in the game now. So I'm just gonna quickly make sure that the sprites are okay, and then I'm gonna save out that memory and do a rebuild. Yeah, that sprite's fine. Okay, so as I say, you can't really see what I'm doing here because it's quite hard to see. It's such small text. But I'm typing S and then in quotes test.prg, and I'm going to do 0801 to FFF9, which will save out that chunk of memory. And then I need to go and find where the hell that's saved now, which is probably probably on the root of my drive in here, I would guess. Test PRG is there. It's got a time of... No, that's the wrong time. Okay, where the hell has it put that then? Okay, let me do a full path to it instead. Let's just put it on the C drive for now. Can I open? Because it's Windows, it probably needs to be a backspace. Oh, really? So where on earth is it saving that to then? I'll tell you what, I'm going to... Oh dear, where is it saving that? I'm going to get this searching the computer for it while... Unfortunately, bloody hard drives are huge, so it's going to take a while to do that. I've had internet problems. And I cannot say gobble. I will not touch the fermenting herring. Yes. I've heard about the fermented herring. I also would not go anywhere near it. Yeah. That and is it Duran fruit as well? The weird fruit that smells like vomit. Hayes has a fish emote. I mean, that's pretty close. I'm not sure where this would be saving to. It's not saved it into here, has it? So I'm going to put that Nebulus disk there, and then I'm going to... Hopefully this will find it. You'd think it would save somewhere sensible, but it doesn't look like it has. In the meantime, let's have a look to see if we can find out where the lives are. So we'll do the same trick because it seemed to work quite well for that. So we'll find out where this is being drawn. It's probably being drawn using an index that's counting up, and the index will be the live counter. So I'm imagining actually that the live counter is going to be somewhere around here because we have our timer here. So it makes sense that the lives are somewhere around here as well. We've got 2 lives. Let's have a look. Does that go to 1? It does. I think that's our live counter. I don't think I need to do much more. So it should go to 0 if I come off the edge. Yeah, so it's 52. Alright, that was easy. The root of the Vice folder. It's put it in... Oh. It's put it in... Where's that? Let me go to that folder. How can I join? Oh, open file location. There we go. Oh, it's actually put it in the Nebulus folder. That was very kind of it. Okay, fair enough. So let's load it in. And we know the entry point is... I need to turn the joystick off. Joystick settings, enable joy keys, there we go. 32768. And it crashes. Okay, so I'm going to load this up into Infiltrator and just see if it's in the same place. No, not that one. PRG, test, disassemble, just whack the font size up so you guys can see it. Okay, so the code does indeed seem to start around about the same point, but the 32768 looked like the wrong place to start this time. Although it does seem to be the same entry point as it was before. The code before it is a bit different. Make the frog pink. That would be easy to do. That would be very easy to do. First of all, we need to figure out how to get this test PRG to actually run, because it's not running. This is the same data, so we just need to work out where the entry point is. I would have thought it was this, but it appears not to be. To try 8017, because that looks kind of interesting as well. So that is 8017 is 2391, so that would be SRS 32791. Oh, it's kind of there. So where is that being jumped to? That's being jumped to from these locations. There's 3 different locations. So the great thing with this infiltrated disassembler is it tells you all the locations that jump to this position, and we've got 3 that jump to this position. So I'm assuming there's some setup before this in one of these functions. So let's go and have a jump to one of those. Okay, this looks interesting because it's doing some other functions before it jumps to that location, and there's a branch that comes back to here, so I don't think it's that. I think it's going to be up here somewhere. I think it might be this 109C. Thank you for the follow. Let me check who that was. Ikaru80, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Acmafin, you have something against Airwolf. I think Acmafin loves Airwolf. When are you going to do an Airwolf stream, Acmafin? I know you only do 1 stream a year, but I think your next one should be Airwolf. Not Sharewolf, Airwolf. By the way, this isn't wine, this is just lemonade. I'm just topping up. I do have to work tomorrow. So I think it's this address here, this 109C. So let's convert that. So let me bring up the calculator. Let's go into hex mode. 109C 4252. Okay, let's try that one. So let's load it in again. Oh, I forgot already. My memory is terrible. 4252. SYS 4252. Okay, it's not that. Is there something before that? There's a lot of NOPs before that. There's some random code up here. Nothing here. 102F maybe. Let's not jump to from any other location. These are just zeros. This is kind of odd. I wouldn't expect this to be normal code. I think it's more likely to be... Oh, mind you, I don't know, because there's a bit of a loop of colour changing going on here. It looks like it's clearing the screen or something. Okay, let's try 102F. This is the problem with trying to get a clean image. If you don't have the X102, if you don't have the entry point, you have to spend a little bit of time trying to work this out. Uh, 4143. 4143. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure what that's doing, but that's what this is doing here, whatever this block of code is. I don't think it's that. Right, this is... Yeah, I'm not sure it's any of this. So where's that jump? There's that jump, 8017. Let's go back to that location. So there was also this location which jumped to it. So let's work our way back through this to find what looks like an entry point. Okay, there's some what looks like some kind of kernel function going on there. Some more right into the screen. Nothing again is jumping out as an entry point. 1130 maybe. Let's try that. Oops, doing 400. Oh, we can't actually type in there now. I'm not going to spend too long trying to get this clean image. I do have an image that at least allows us to do some hacking. Oh, look, we've got the the hack code. So this is the code that the crack group has added in. That's kind of cool. Let me jump to. So I feel like this is an entry point, but we're missing some kind of setup. Maybe I think Colt mentioned something about the memory location. Maybe it isn't saving what's underneath that area first. Let's just try jump into that again. That doesn't work, does it? Okay, so in fact we get a jam at that point. Alright, I'll tell you what, we'll leave that for now. I can find a clean image to upload with our crack when we're done. For now, let's just carry on with what we've got. It just means that one sprite for some reason is broken. Yeah, alright, let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, as Dr. Miz says, where do they go after the crack thing? So this was the crack area. Well, it jumps to here, that's the thing. From that location. I'm gonna have a look what's at this one. Let's check the last one. Might as well. This looks like it's doing it's doing some interrupt clearing. Yeah, and maybe this one 3610. That looks interesting. Oh, this one 3609. Let's try that. And into hex 3609 is 13833. Okay, it's not that one. Let's add 7 to that and see if that makes a difference. I think it's going to do the same thing there. 840. Oh! But now this is the wrong colour. But are we actually in the game? Interesting. This just looks like it's done everything except set the colour correctly at the top, so we might be onto something here. Let's turn my joystick back on. 13840. Yeah, it needs to set some colours up here first. So it's not setting these colours until the timer actually starts. Okay, so we need to look for something that jumps to this location, which is only one. Oh no, sorry, this location, which is coming from here. But I tried running that and it didn't work. If it's equal to 0, jump to here. Otherwise, jump to here. 3610 C6E2. Let's go and have a look at that location. None of this looks. This is just jumping to the location where we were. Let's have a look. What are we doing? So we're loading the accumulate with 1, then we're branching if it's equal to 0, which it's not going to be. So it's going to skip that and it's going to jump to this location. This location. What is that doing? So it's loading FE, transferring to the stack, so it's moving the stack pointer. See, this is quite a dangerous thing to be doing. Just moving the stack pointer one away from the top of the stack. It's a strange one. I'm not convinced that's the right location either. So let's go back to, I forgot what it was now, 3609 or something. Yeah, this is where we need to come, but there needs to be some kind of color set up first before it gets here, and it's not doing that. There needs to be some kind of storing values in D800 onwards. I'm not seeing that anywhere, unless it's stored already as part of the maybe this is the problem. Maybe saving this out in Vice is not the right way to do this. Maybe the better way to do this would be to save a snapshot out and do it through Infiltrator instead. So I'm going to write that SYS value down, which is 13840. I'm going to load it up in here at warp speed. Games are getting weirder and weirder. Why are they getting weird? Oh, there's a recent game called Coordinate Exit 2 where you control the pig and fly by fart power. Of course there is. So let's do high score. Do you want to reset the high scores? No. Okay, we're in the game. So I'm going to save a snapshot. I'll call it Nebulus. For some reason my Vice does this all the time, but it has actually loaded it. I do have to close. Yeah, it's there, see. Check tech chat. Look for STA. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed that. Look for a STA of the colour that it should be using. Yeah, I think the problem is when Vice is saving out that memory location, it's saving out the RAM underneath the colour ROM, and I think the colour ROM is set as part of the load, which we might see when we look in here. I don't think there's going to be anywhere where it's loading it directly, otherwise we would have seen it at that entry point. Okay, Vice. I'll try it this way. If this doesn't work, we'll just leave it, and I'll find a version that I can get to work with it. I mean, we can even write a small routine in our crack to put the right colours in. It's not a problem. Okay, so if we have a look, let's have a look at the hex first. Again, I can't make this any bigger, unfortunately. Right, so there's some text in here, so we can change a lot of the text very easily. Oops, I had it then and then scroll right past it. Save. Yes. Could you do that? I'm not sure how. I need to check with Vice how it actually saves that RAM out. I have a feeling it saves whatever is in RAM, regardless of what your 0-1 value is. You're only saving out RAM. Look, D800 is not. It's all black here at the moment, so maybe that's wrong as well. Well, let's check it. Let's test that theory. Let's load up the game. Let's load the cracked version of that I've done. So I kind of want to move on to changing scores and things for the little shrimp things as well at some point. Stack point thing is common to pass parameters. Yeah, I'm just trying to think though, because they're not. They're actually changing where the stack pointer is. They're not just kind of popping something from the stack. They were actually moving the stack pointer to the second value at the top of the stack. It seems like a strange thing to do. It might be the right thing to do. I don't know, but it seems a little strange. So I'm just going to check what's in this location. Okay, so we've got. Yeah, so this is the colours. This is definitely the colours. So I'm going to try and just save this out to cols. It's cols.prg, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to save out D800 to DC100. And then I'm going to go and have a look in here. Oh, and this time it hasn't saved it there. This time it is going to be in the root of my bloody Vice folder. Oh dear. Yeah, so it depends on how I launch that. So let me have a look in hex editor. Oh no, it does save the colours out. That's really weird. And in fact it must do, because this was saved from Vice as well. I'm not sure why the one we saved out here had the wrong values in it. But you know what? We can actually put the right values in, I'm pretty sure. If I take the original cols of this one, bearing in mind it starts with a 2-digit address in a PRG. You can't really see it, unfortunately. It doesn't zoom in very well. I can search, but I can't zoom in. So I'll try and do this quickly so you don't have to look at blurry text. I'm just going to scroll through and find the colour values in here. I shall start D802. Yeah, see, these values are completely wrong. Now hopefully I can copy from here. Really? Can I not select more than one? Oh, there we go. Edit, block copy, and then I'm going to change that there. Edit. There's no clipboard paste. That did not do the right thing. That did definitely not do the right thing. Edit, clipboard, copy. Edit, clipboard, paste. Ah, there we go. Okay. Let's give that a try. I have a feeling this is going to go completely weird. Load it with the patch. Oh yeah, I could do that as well. Yeah, so if this doesn't work, I'll try that. That's a very good idea. Yeah, I've knackered that file now. Oh dear. Oh dear, what have I done? Okay, let me do it again. I'll load it with a patch file. So yeah, what Colt has suggested is taking the Coles PRG that I've just created, so I'm going to drop that in here. I'm actually going to... Whoops. I'm actually going to open that up in the editor. And just delete the PRG thing off the beginning. So the first two bytes in a PRG file say where to load it. So I'm just going to remove those. So we've just got a binary file now. So I'm going to call it cols.bin. Yeah, that's fine. And then in here, problem is this is probably going to load into RAM on this. In fact, this is going to load into RAM underneath the ROM. I might have to load it in a funny way. But we can do that in a sec. Let's just get this loaded up, get a new version in. Find some blank space. So actually, while that's loading, let's see if we can go and find a little bit of blank space to drop that colour thing in. I'm sure there's a much better way of doing this. I'm absolutely positive there's a better way of doing this. But the pressure, man, the pressure. I need to get this done. So this is our cracked version. But I don't really care too much about it being a cracked version. I'm just trying to find some blank space. So this is quite promising. Yeah, it's blank for quite a way. So I'm going to drop it in at around about between 0800 and 1400. So let's just get this version and have a look. Oh, nothing wrong with steps. File. It's a snapshot for the debugger. So the file that we're using for the debugger will be. In fact, we've got it on the quick load. So yeah, he's provided one at the top as well. So we can, when we do the, damn it, that's really hard actually. How do you get through the? Oh, I need to turn the joystick on, don't I? Damn it. There you go. So we can get straight to the second level. But unfortunately, for some reason, debugger won't let me save out that memory, which is really inconvenient. High score, no, it's just a snapshot from the emulator. So I'll do the same again in here. Just going to save out. Have I already got it? So no. Okay, save. I'm going to call it test 2 or else I'm going to get lost with where these are. Okay. Let's see where it's put that, which is probably in here. 2, there we go. And then just double check that this version has some free space somewhere. Okay, I don't know why that's. I see sometimes this debugger winds me up. Okay, that's loaded, and okay, I don't care about running it. I just want to check for free space. So this was the area that the crackers had used. This area is also the cracker. You can see they've put all this in here as well. This area is free from 0800. We're gonna have a little piece of code here to run, so I can't use straight away from there. But this looks like it's all text to do with the crack, so we're not bothered about that. So we'll put our color data at 0900, and then we'll copy it as soon as we start. So if I go into a crack file, change this to test2 PRG now. And then at 0900 we will import a binary which is our coals.bin. Is it coals.bin? Yeah, coals.bin. And we'll change this to entry. And then at the end of this we need to jump to 13840, and then we need to start copying. Tap that in a bit. I don't like it when the labels don't line up properly. Makes me feel very uneasy. So we'll load the value in here. like so. We'll do that for each row. So that becomes A, that becomes 9, that becomes B, that becomes A, that becomes C, that becomes B. There we go. Increase that, and if it's not equal, jump back to there. Okay, so let's give that a try. I'm not sure if this is going to be right now, we might have to double check that. No, oh, there we go. Let's just check that we've got sound working as well. Sound playback. I'm not hearing any sound on it. Let's start the game and come back out again. Maybe there's something wrong with the... I don't think that's the proper entry address. I think this is the problem. I don't think it's the proper entry address. Joystick, enable joy keys. Good job I haven't put the infinite lives on yet, because I wouldn't be able to die, so I just want to die and see. Oh, I have sound off in game settings itself. How do I turn that on? Yeah, because there's no sound at all. Sound off at the bottom. Okay. Why am I not dying? Oh shit, I can't die now. I didn't even put infinite lives in. Okay. Jesus. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, I'm not having a great stream, am I, with this one? Sound off. Okay, F1. There we go. Okay, sound is on. But for some reason we have infinite lives, even though I didn't set infinite lives. Yeah. And the timer. Oh yeah, the timer will count down. It's just it won't do anything when we get to the end. That's fine. Okay, let's see. So I can lose lives. My lives do go down. That sprite's correct now, which is good. I'll just die. So 2 lives. For some reason I don't seem to be able to lose lives properly. 1 life. So this should be game over. Or the next one. Yeah, I did want to implement... Oh, no, there we go. That makes no sense. I don't understand the live count. Oh, it's on 2 player. Yeah, thank you, Sakrak. It's on 2 player. So it starts with sound off and in 2 players. My god. I need wine. That's what it is. I need wine to do this. I'm gonna have to start drinking tequila on a Thursday, aren't I? That's the only way to solve this. Okay. Oh man, I know how to waste time. That's for sure. Okay, so let's load our new cracked version in. Actually, no. Let's do it with steps. This snapshot is easier. Okay, so we've got. Let's do the infinite lives then. All right, so. So we can do the same thing again. We can work out where this screen location is. So it's at 7,000 plus 3 rows and 0. So 0 across. So we're looking for this location plus 3 rows, which is There's 50, 78. Okay, it's not at that location, is that right? 7078. Let's have a look what happens if I actually poke something into that location. 7078. Yeah, that's the correct location, I think. Start the game. Okay, let's stick a breakpoint on that then. So 7078, any value less than or equal to FF. There we go. Turn that on off. I don't know why that's there. Seriously, go away. Oh, and it's immediately broke. Where has that broke? Oh, it draws the whole thing. Okay. 1000, Y. Oh, okay. So it sets the Y to a value. It's printing it from the top corner here, and it just sets the Y to be that. Okay. More Fridays off. Yeah. The thing is, Fridays can go either way at my place. They can either be incredibly quiet days where people know it's Friday and they kind of relax a little bit, or they can be an incredibly intense day because there's a deadline looming and Friday's our last chance, and unfortunately it's more of the latter at the moment, so yeah, not the best. Okay, decrease B533. I think B533 is going to be the number of well, it's not the number of lives, is it? Look at that. Where was it? There we go. So, oh, load 8 into the X register, store it there. Load accumulator it was 0. So somewhere around here it's going to be grabbing the number of lives. It's not equal B590, so it keeps doing this. Oh, we found the lives, didn't we? Where was it? 50 was it? 50, 52. There we go. So somewhere around here, there'll be. There we go. Load accumulate with 52. Jump to solution B58A, which is this one that draws it. All we want is anything that would decrease that value, so let's have a look if there is a decrease for that value anywhere. So opcodes decrease is for 0 page C6. Okay, that's not the one. So we decrease X anywhere. Let's try looking for same value again, 52, but let's look for decreased values that come after that. So let's check for decrease X first. And let's look for decrease Y. Okay. Okay, well let's lose a life and see what happens. So this is, we want to look for the value in 52 changing to any value. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this is where it's happening. Decrease 52. So X must be player 1 or 2. So yeah, so this is what the current player is. 51 is which is the current player. This is player 1 lives. This is player 2 lives. So this decrease 52, X. If we just change that to 2 NOPs instead, so 80D3. If I just put EA in there, Turn off the breakpoint. And restart. Yeah, Colt, exactly. 52 for player 1, 53 for player 2. So hopefully now we shouldn't lose a life. It doesn't look like we do. Cool, so that's infinite lives as well. So let's... It's 80D3, 80D4, so let's go and stick that in the code. Oh man, I think I need wine. I think I need to... Maybe it's because I had one glass of wine and my body was just expecting more and it didn't get more. Okay. Okay, that should give us infinite lives as well. Alright, let's have a go at changing... Who said... I'm going to do the quick and simple one. Somebody said change this to pink, so I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I'm not loose enough. I've had a little bit and it's enough to kind of tell my brain, yep, you're going to be getting drunk in a minute, and then it's not happened, and now my brain is fighting back and saying, how dare you? How dare you trick me into thinking we're getting alcohol? And all I'm doing is drinking lemonade out of... It's not even a wine glass, it's just what I drink wine out of. But it's enough for my brain to go, it's wine, it's... Oh, it's lemonade. It's wine, it's... No, it's lemonade. This has been depressed all the time. Okay, right. Yeah, let's do a quick change to the sprite color. I think pink would suit this guy actually, and then we'll change the score values on those pink shrimps for haze. And then maybe we'll see if we can do anything about these platforms. Make them obvious that they're going to disappear. There's some flag somewhere that says if you stand on this, it's going to disappear, so that it knows somehow about these characters being fall through, but I'm not sure how it's doing that, so that might be a bit tricky, but we can have a look. Okay, let's make him pink. So let's get him on screen, find out what sprite number he's using. There he is. He's using sprite number 1, so this is D028 for his color. It's got a high res overlay as well, so I'm guessing his high res overlay is this one. So let's look for D028 in the code and see where it's being set. Okay, so we've got 2 locations. Let's check the first one. PCAE, always do 1 less. Oh, there we go. It's that simple, I think. I think if I change that value, BCE 7, oh no, E7, E8, there we go. Change that to 0A, which is pink. The question is, when does that code get run? Maybe it doesn't get run straight away. Let's type that, let's make a note of that one. BCE 8, 0A, makes him pink. Because it's not using a multiplexer, which I don't think it's doing, I can't see any case where there's been more than 8 sprites on the screen. There's no reason to keep changing the colour of this, it only needs to change it once. So it might only be doing it once right at the beginning of the program. Yeah, and this is a comparison, so it's not... It's a comparison then a branch, it's not that. Oh wow, Amiga Bill raid. Hi Amiga Bill, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the raid, and welcome to everybody that's come along with Amiga Bill. Hope you had a good stream. We're currently hacking away at Nebulus with kind of differing levels of success, to be honest. Amiga raid, yes. We've managed to well, not stop the timer, but stop the timer from killing you when it gets to 0. We've added infinite lives. We're just about to change this little green alien to be pink as well. D64 flew in. Oh, nice emote combo there, Hayes. Thank you for the follow, guys, as well. Thank you, VectorX, and thank you, Invent, for the follow. So what have you been doing tonight on stream then, Bill? Thank you for the follow, X Snowdog X as well. The last thing this game needed was a timer. Yes, well we've not stopped it, but what we have done is, so when you get down to 0, you don't it doesn't kill you basically, so you just lose the bonus for that level. So there is still kind of a reason to be quick, but you're not forced into, where's my fire button, there we go, you're not forced into trying to do it in a particular amount. Oh no, no, no. Okay. Oh, this was the new game, wasn't it? Okay, cool. I think you can quit the game with a key. Okay. Run stop. I don't want to quit the game though. I'm liking the fact that I've actually got some score for once. I'm gonna beat Hayes' high score at this rate. This is great. Okay, thanks Amiga Bill. Thanks for the raid. Have a good one. Thank you for the follow, guys. Thank you, 10-minute Amiga Retrocast, Paranoic BB, and Andy Amiga 7. Real pixel work. Very cool. You pixeling on the Amiga in then? Thank you for the follow, Vincent GR76. Okay, so that seems to be the only place where that colour's been changed. So I think that's changing at startup. So I'm actually just going to drop that in our file, which was BCE8. Let's get rid of that one, replace it, and just put our colour in, and then just quickly run this in Vice and see what happens. Oh wow, cool! You're keeping busy then. That's really cool. Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm keeping quite busy myself, to be honest. But it's all good. I wish we didn't start with sound off and 2 players, so that's quite confusing. Although I do want to actually turn the sound off. So. And he's not green. He's not pink. He's green. Okay. Couldn't have imagined anyone would watch it. I would watch this. Yeah. I have to let John know you're hacking his game. Oh, please do. Please do. I'm always happy to have developers on stream as well. And this we looked at, the first thing we did with this game is we looked at how the tower effect works, and it's really interesting how it's been done. It's a very, very clever use of character sets. Thank you for the follow, Amiga Kami. Welcome to the stream. It's basically every character is just a vertical stripe. There's nothing I can show you actually in the debugger. There's nothing in the game apart from the C at the bottom, which is, have I just closed it? I have just closed it. That was really, really dumb of me. There's nothing in the tower itself, in the 3D animated tower, that is anything other than a vertical stripe or a series of vertical stripes, which makes it very easy to rotate around. And then the whole character set is just combinations of the bricks and the platforms in varying combinations. So I think what John is doing to make the tower rotate is basically doing some kind of mathematical calculations for what the tower would look like in 3D, and then translating that to combinations of characters on the screen. It's very clever. I'm mostly lurking, but I was here maybe a week ago working on some newer than 80 set for now, but I hope to have some time soon to dive into C64 stuff. The more the merrier. The C64 is an amazing machine. I know I'm biased, but it is an amazing machine, and you really should do more stuff on it. And coming from the NES, it should feel quite natural as well. So let me just show you what I pressed the wrong buttons again. Do you know what it is? That's because I use a Mac all day at work, so I'm so used to pressing the command key, and then I come home and I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Let's try again. John did an Amiga game prototype 2D that's slightly off the projection with these amazing projected shadows. Okay, let's get this right this time. It's that one. No, not that one, sorry. That one. So, let me just go back and put the marker on the screen in the right place. There we go. So you can see the character set is just built up of these stripes. Lots and lots of stripes in different combinations. And that makes the entire tower. If you look at the tower on this screen, let's do it on this one so you can see it bigger. The tower is nothing but vertical stripes and combinations of colours. So by just working out which combination of colours you need to display in any area, you can create a combination of bricks, doorways. Unfortunately, I die all the time in this game. These platforms, and then the clever bit is the maths that works out how fast each of these areas should be moving. But that's just pre-calculated ahead of time and then printed line by line onto the screen. It's an incredibly elegant solution. It's very, very clever. But right now I want our little guy to be pink, and he's not, he's green. So I'm just going to go and hard code his pink colouring, which is, oh, it should be that one, but this is actually showing, this is not showing IO RAM, this is showing the RAM underneath. If I change this value, nothing's going to happen, I don't think. Yeah. Okay. Let's do another hunt for that value, just to make sure I wasn't missing where it was. 28D0. Oh, there was a few locations where that was happening. Okay. So let's have a jump to some of those. 1043. So that's a compare. I think this was the crack code, wasn't it? We'd already established that this area was the code that was doing the crack, which it is. 11A, yeah, it's the same there. So it does seem to indeed be at this location, and we do have pink there, but it's not being translated for some reason. If I put a breakpoint in there, I don't think it's ever going to get hit for some reason. Oh, it is being hit. It's being hit, but then it's not. It's going back to this colour again. Maybe I've got the wrong sprite. I don't think so though, no. D028, I can change it in here. Okay, cool. Turn that breakpoint off. Turn that breakpoint. No, see, it keeps going back to that colour again every time. Something is changing that colour. Okay, I'm going to stick a breakpoint in here. So on a Thursday, this stream is mostly me hacking around in the code with Hayes, who is he's there actually. I don't have a shout out command. I should probably get a shout out command. So Hayes does a kind of pre-stream. Well, not always. Sometimes I'll post a game that I'm about to do, and Hayes will do a little kind of playthrough before, which is really cool. I'm not doing that. Hang on, cancel. And then on Saturday we do a collaborative game creation where we work together to make a Commodore game from scratch, and I try and teach everyone the techniques that I know for doing it. I mean, obviously I'm still quite new to the programming Commodore scene compared to a lot of veterans, but hopefully I have some techniques that I can share with people. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, feel free to come along on a Saturday and join in. That seems to be being changed there, but that's a lie because that is not changing that value at all. This is just rubbish. None of this is true. Okay, let's see if that value is being edited somewhere. Okay, this looks kind of interesting. So this is loading some values from 0 page from here, and it's loading them into sprites here, and this looks interesting. Let's change that to 0A and see what happens. It's like these colors are, so it's loading these values and storing them. Why is it pausing there? I need to turn that breakpoint off again, don't I? There we go. No, it keeps reading that color. That's really, really frustrating. It looks like it should be this, because this piece of code here is being run, and this is what's changing the colors of the sprites. In fact, with the breakpoint there, you can see now it's going backwards through the colors, so it's reading from here, and it's assigning them to all the sprites all the way down to this location. Is there sprite multiplexing going on? We'll take a look at that in a minute. This was supposed to be really, really simple, this change, and it's actually turned out to be a bit of a pain. Let's check another location, because I'm not sure that's the correct change, but there does seem to be a few of these, so let's go and have a look at the other one. So there's another one. This is loading the color white and storing it in every sprite location. That doesn't seem to correlate with what we want, so I don't think it's that. 8DD5. And this is not. This is something else. This is some kind of data structure. 9575. Okay, there's another one where it's loading values from a certain area. 94F8. Let's go and have a look there. Though again, this looks kind of grey, 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 black, 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 green. I don't think that's going to change it, but let's just do it anyway. Hayes did quite well on this tonight, actually. I was quite impressed. I've never got that far at all. Although he was using level skip, so yeah, I want to see him do it properly. I want to see him speedrun it. I'm just going to keep dissecting this every week until he does it. Okay, there's another one here, B2CC. There's some very strange things going on in this kind of colouring. It's using these same patterns: grey, 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 black, 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 green. It's almost like there's something else that's using these sprites somewhere, because this doesn't seem to match what we're seeing. On that whole level, yeah, I completely suck at it. Paranoid. Yeah. I think I have got off the first level. I got off the first level. I've done one underwater level and got to the third level and immediately died. And I think it took me like 20 attempts or even more maybe to get to that level. So once I got there and died and immediately, like on my last live, died, I kind of got raged and just turned it off. It's not a friendly game when it comes to when it comes to the game in general. As he's pointed out, the kind of game design itself is very, very unforgiving. Okay, there's another one. Let's check that one out. Somewhere in here I'm going to find this value. So this seems to be, yeah, again though, this, I mean, 04. I'm looking for OD, and the only time I find OD is in places that don't seem to do anything. Yeah, let's see, that's not one. Okay, let's leave the colour thing. Let's go and have a look at the next level. So let's just jump straight to the end. Come on, get through the door quickly. Oh, I need to actually click on it. There we go. Right. Oh wow, that's really tight steps. You've made it really difficult. Okay, I am going to save this into a snapshot as well. I'll save it in snapshot 5. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, it has done a break. Where is no breakpoint? Okay, this is a sprite color breakpoint, so I'm just going to delete that so we don't use that. And restart. Why is it stuck? It seems to be stuck now. Thank you for the follow, Lost and Fiend. Lost and Fiend. Ah, cool. I like that name. Why is it stuck there? Why are we not advancing? No, don't do this to me now. So I think that breakpoint you provided doesn't seem to allow me to add. Oh, God damn it! That's a really tight time in there. It doesn't allow me to get anywhere in this next level. So let's just make sure. Oh, there we go. All right. So I think Hayes, you said these were 50 points each or something. So let's see if we can see where. Right, first of all, let's try and find the score, which I think is here. I think it's just these bits here by the looks of things. So I think if I shoot this value at 5.4 will go up, so let's try that. Yeah, it is, and they are 50 each by the looks of things. Okay, so whoops. So we're looking at something that's going to change these values. So we'll do the same again. We'll put a breakpoint in. Anytime it changes, we want to break, and we want to see where that's happening. In fact, I'm going to go for a quick cigarette because I need to go grab a drink as well. So I'll be back in 2 minutes, and then we'll change the score on those. So bear right back, guys. Okay, and I'm back. Let's get the music down. There we go. So what were we doing? Oh yeah, so we're going to see memory address 54 to see if anything changes that address and break when it does so. What am I doing? There we go. AMFF takeover in chat. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Okay, let's restart. So now if I shoot something. There we go. So this is what seems to be doing. Oh, this is not writing to the address it says it is. This is kind of weird. So this address has been written to, but it's saying it's done it here, and it definitely does not seem to be here where it's doing it, because that's a screen address. No, it's not a screen address. It's a double buffer address actually. So it is a screen address, but it's in the other buffer. Let's just look for store in that value. So let's look for 8554. Can't be many places where that's being used at all, in fact. Let's try store X. It's probably doing 0 page index. Let's try that. 95. There we go. B521. So this looks like it's resetting the score for both players. and this looks like it's adding. Wait a minute. So it's taking. Okay, so this is going to be called from somewhere, and I'm imagining a value will be passed into this address here, B5A1. So let's have a look for that. Amiga missionaries from Finland. Yeah, I keep promising I'm going to do a Parasol Star stream at some point on the Amiga. I will do that. I do need to practice it. So maybe I might do that tomorrow night, actually. If not tomorrow night, so maybe Sunday night, but I would like to do it. I did manage to eventually get the Amiga set up through the capture card, so I might give that a shot at some point. Oh, look at this jump table. So there's an awful lot of stuff going on here. I think this is probably going to be jumped from somewhere else. I'm going to check this address first and come back to that one, because that's a huge jump table. I'm not sure what that's doing. EADA. There is a jump to subroutine here. And this is loading X50. There we go. So I wonder if I change that value, AED5. Let's go and find that in here. AED5. And I change it from 50. Wait a minute, that's 80 though. That would imply that this is increasing by 80, and it's not. It's definitely increasing by 330. Yeah, it's going up by 50. Many Amiga guys did go on to become millionaires, but they only started to make money when they put their Amigas away. Yeah. Ackman is the one with us. Seriously, Ackman, you don't have a C64. We need to sort that out. No multiplexer on that. Well, let's have a look, actually. No, there is. Oh no, wait. How many sprites have we seen there? So the ship is made up of 4 sprites. Yeah, you're right. There's no multiplexer. I think it is just because there's no. Oh. No, there is a shadow. The shadow at the bottom is multiplexed. I'm not seeing the shadow though. Where is that? Oh, it's underneath everything. So the shadow goes underneath everything. So there is a very, very simple multiplexer just for that that last piece. So it's bothering me that we're not finding where that score is added. We found this routine at AEDA. Where's that gone again? AED. Thank you for the follow, Tampon of Truth. Great name. You've outsourced your C64. Okay. Yeah, the bullet is a sprite. I noticed that when I went into that other screen, actually. Oops. Yeah, the bullet is a sprite. But the only multiplexing that seems to be happening is that the top of this ship gets replaced at this point. On the bottom layer of parallax, the top of the ship gets replaced for this. Which kind of makes sense, because it means these can the enemies and bullets can go all over the screen. The bottom of the ship can go right down to here. And it's only the top of the ship that gets removed. And the top of the ship is never going to clash with the shadow, so it makes sense that when they do the split for this bottom layer of parallax, that they can add that quite easily. So okay, what were we doing? AED 9 I need to go to for it to be one less. Okay, so this is increasing this value in 4f, whatever that is. So I don't know what that is, but it's increasing that value. It's loading the accumulate with 0 and then storing it. Storing up here based on some y index. Let's jump back to that B5A1 again. I want to see exactly what it's doing. So it transfers the X to the accumulator. Then it loads the value in 51, which is our player. So whether it's player 1 or player 2. If it's okay, so if it's player 1, it leaves X as 0. So then when it uses 54, X, it's going to be changing these 4 values here, which is this score. If it's player 2, then it sets X to 4, which means it'll be changing these, which is player 2's score. And then it adds whatever the contents of the accumulator, and it is whatever is passed in from X to that location. So I think we were on the right track with the weird jump table, which I'm going to go and find again now, which is A970. So it was this location here. Sorry, this one here. So I'm going to put that breakpoint in there. I'm going to turn the memory breakpoint off. And start. Did I actually shoot something? I don't know if I shot something or not. Yes, I did. Alright. Okay, so it is definitely jumping to there. So let's see what's calling that routine. So 6F A9. Okay, there's a few locations that are doing that. Now these could be different scores for different things. So this could be the results of doing various actions in the games with different values. And what we're looking at is what the X register is set to at this location. So let's go to 83BB. Start with the first one. So this is adding 16 to the score. Okay, 16 seems an odd number. 16? Yeah, it is 16. Okay, because it's in the hex number. Okay, so let's go to the next one. 8882. This is adding 10 to the score. This is kind of looking sensible. 88B8. 10 again. 88EE. 10 again. I think it's one of these two. Well, mainly because it's the only two left, but also it's in a kind of different area of memory, which makes sense for this game. This is the Y register is set to 1 in this case, so that's interesting. We'll come and have a look and see what that's about in a minute. I'm just going to check this other location. Okay, so we also need to work out what setting the Y register does at that point. So let's jump back to let's jump back to B5A1 again. Okay, so you can add to you can add up to 99 points, it looks like. So what it's doing, it's adding to, hang on, no, that's not right. It's in 4 digits, so this is split into 4 pairs. It adds the first one. Oh no, it is. It's the one with 50 in. The one that had 50, because this is in decimal mode. So when you use this flag, what happens is instead of, let me show you in here. So normally a hexadecimal 50 is actually equal to let's get this right, 80 in decimal, because it's 5 times 16. However, when you set the decimal flag by using that command, what happens is the 6510 or the 6502, if you're using a 6502 chip, changes into decimal mode, and that means it's literally what it looks like. So 50 actually becomes 50, and then if you were to, so if you did that, it's 59, it's not 89. And then if you were to add that to it, the result would be 70, because it's in decimal mode. It's 59 plus 11. If you were in hexadecimal mode, the result would actually be 6A, which is different, but we are in decimal mode, so that is fine. So actually we were right with the first location, which was, where was it, around here somewhere, AEDA, I think it was. Yes, this one here. So this load X with 50 here is actually right. So if I go AED 5, so it's this value, AED 6. I'm going to write this down. So AED 6 is the lower part, so it's 50, and AED 8 is the upper part, which is 0. So what this is saying is add 0050 to the value, and I think we said 250, wasn't it, Hayes? I think we said. Thank you for joining the stream, Paranoid Paranoid BB, sorry. And yeah, thank you for the follow, and have a good night. Colt showing that he's definitely a security person. Passwords, access codes, credit card numbers. Yeah, it's crazy what people throw out, and they don't realise how easy it is to steal somebody's identity if you're not careful. Get a good cross-cut shredder and use it for everything, credit cards included. Although even a cross-cut shredder is not a good idea for credit cards, because if you get a bag of shredded paper and it's got credit card bits in it, it's unlikely there's going to be multiple credit cards in there. There's probably only going to be one in there, so it's going to be very easy for you to get those pieces and rebuild it again. You won't get you won't get a working chip out of it. It will destroy the chip, but you will get a credit card number, and the number's off the back as well. So credit cards, I would suggest I don't know what you do actually with a credit card to get rid of it, but even a cross-cut shredder is probably not good enough. Thank you for the follow. Subway Eat Fresh. I've not been to Subway for years. Okay, let's I think Hayes said 250, so let's try changing it to 250. So we just have to change the value of the Y here. Because it's binary coded decimal, it's in decimal mode, so it's 0250. So now when I shoot things, this score should go up by considerably more. I'm going to delete these breakpoints on here. Where's my start button? Here we go. And I can't actually tell if they're going. No, they do seem to be only going up by 50 still, so there must be another 50 somewhere that's being added. Okay, let's reload that breakpoint and let's pause. So what happens if I put 99 in there? Do I get a strange number? Let's see if I can just get a weird number in there when I shoot things. It might not be this location that's actually adding the 50, so no, so we're still adding 50, so I think it's one of these locations. So go to 83BB. So this was adding 10 at a time, and this is weird because on these other ones we would get in numbers that were that were not binary coded decimal, like this 0A. This is not binary coded decimal, so I'm not sure what that would actually be doing at that point. Typically it's worth cutting the card into 4 or more pieces and shredding each piece individually. Yeah, I think that's the problem, is that with paper it's quite easy with a crosscut shredder to, you know, to mix up a bag of paper, and it's I mean, it can still be done, but it's incredibly difficult to rebuild that. But with a credit card, you are literally going to be putting the only credit card in that bag shredded into the bag. So yeah, I think you need to dispose of it in different places. It's the only real way. Or set fire to it. Yeah, that would do it as well. This is definitely the score routine, but what I'm concerned about is this value here, this 0A. So I'm actually going to do a little test. So for those who've seen my Saturday stream, I've shown this site off before. It's a really good site for learning 6502 if you don't know it, but it's also a good place to just do some sandbox testing as well. I think there is actually a page with just the sandbox on. Let's see if I can find it actually. Blah, blah. Is that one? No, it's not that one. There is a kind of sub page of this page that allows you to just test without kind of all this other tutorial stuff on here as well. But what I tend to do is I just go down to this first block, delete the code in there, and then have a look. So what I'm trying to see is what happens if I set the decimal flag and I load a value that's not binary coded decimal and I add, say, 1 to it. I want to see what the accumulator says here. Okay, so it treats anything over 0A, over 09, as if it's 1 0. So if I put 1 0 there, I get 1 1. But if I put 0A, I also get 1 1. What if I do 0B? Do I get 1 2? I get 1 2. Okay, so it actually loops these values around. So 0A is actually the same as putting 10 in here. That's very confusing. Oh really? The NES doesn't have binary coded decimal mode. That's interesting. Oh hi Sinla, I didn't notice you'd come, and you were about to go, so take care. Thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, we're not going to do much more. We're going to do about another 20 minutes or so because I do have to work tomorrow morning, unfortunately. But Saturday stream is going to be quite interesting. So the game's at a point now where we actually need to start implementing. What am I looking for? We need to actually start implementing some character kind of projectiles, and we've got some ideas for how they're going to work. They're not going to follow a straight path. They're going to follow a curved path, quite similar to what's it called, creatures, with the fireballs that kind of droop down to the floor. So I'm thinking we're going to use character sprites to do that, to allow us a bit more freedom. We're trying to avoid using, this is adding 100. We're trying to avoid using multiplexers for two reasons. One, I don't want to complicate the code that we're doing on stream with the complexities of a multiplexer. They can be very confusing. And with us having a two-player game, again 100, with us having a two-player game, you can potentially have two-player sprites on the same level, and then if they're projectiles with sprites as well, and they both shot two projectiles, that's now 6 sprites taken up on a line. You get all sorts of weird flickering artifacts. Plus, I think doing a good software sprite routine will be a good practice, a good exercise for the stream. So, and it's something I'm sure many people who've done Commodore games before would find useful if they've not already done it. So I think it would be a nice exercise for the stream. So we're going to implement that on Saturday night, and hopefully we'll have 2 players running around the level being able to shoot things, or at least we'll have some sprites bouncing around the level, some software sprites. So we're going to use a similar technique. So we did a Dissect a Barbarian last week, and we're going to use a similar technique that they use for drawing the fighters over the bitmap. That we're going to blend the characters with the background. We're not just going to remove what's behind them, we're actually going to blend them into the background. So it should be quite an interesting exercise. I'm going to put some breakpoints in these, and I'm going to see which one gets fired. That's probably the best way to do this. So let's go through them one at a time. So that one's being fired. Sorry, not being fired, it's potentially going to be fired. So let's do that one. And as ever, after this stream, the code for this I will put on the GitHub. I don't think I've got the GitHub on my... I do need to add that to my bot at some point. Hang on, let me grab you a link for it. So there's 2 projects on my GitHub related to the 64. The rest are just forks of other programs I've done. This one is for the Dissect stream. At the moment there's just the last V8 and the Barbarian on there, but I'm going to start putting the code, which is this kind of little kick assembler file that allows you to load in a kind of an almost clean version. I realise it's not that clean, this version. An almost clean version of the game, and patch it with other data that you want as well. I can't remember what these are now. Let me write in. Oh yeah, so stop timer. I should probably write what these are. And infinite lives. I thought this was going to be the colour for the player, but it's not, so I'm going to delete that. And this is just setting up the colour, because we found that the colour was corrupted with the version that memory address that I blanked out. And if you haven't joined my Discord, if you're new to the channel and you want to speak to other people about 64 development and hacking, excuse me, then you can come and join my Discord, and there's lots of very helpful and very talented people there who can help you out with what you need, hopefully. 96E8, so let's put that in there. Okay, I think that's all of them now, so let's just restart and try shooting something. Okay, I was saying somewhere completely different. Have I got another breakpoint on? No. Oops. And whiskey. Yeah, I've still got some of that tequila left as well, so I may have a little drink of it on Saturday. Maybe not quite as much as I did last time, but I may have a little bit, as it was nice. Although if I'm doing this character sprite thing, I might have to concentrate a little bit more, and I have to maybe think about maths a little bit more, and that's probably not ideal for tequila drinking. Okay, I'm not sure. This is saying we're at this point, but I don't know what's calling this, because this does not seem to be anything related to the scores. This is a weird breakpoint, but it does indeed seem to be breaking here, even though I have none of these the breakpoints for that. I think sometimes this debugger can get a little confused. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's have a look what's in that memory location. I'm not sure what it would be. 1707E3. I mean, wait a minute. Is that? No, it's not. Is it? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. That's the matter. Yeah, it really was. I'm surprised I got to the end of that stream conscious, to be honest with you. It could have quite easily ended up being a 12-hour stream of just me with my head on my desk. In fact, you wouldn't have seen it. You would have just seen the back of my room, and that would have been it. And maybe heard a bit of snoring. So I'm glad that didn't happen. Okay, this seems to be just sprite data around here, so I don't think it's that. Oh, where is this 50 being added? Because this function is definitely the function that's adding the score. If I put a breakpoint in here, I've got to put loads. Let's go and clear all the breakpoints in here, and put a breakpoint in this function here, and you'll see when it gets called. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to restart the snapshot though, aren't I? Okay, it's fine. It's kept my breakpoint. Oh, though again, it stopped here. It stopped at this. I wonder if there's some kind of raster interrupt that's breaking my actual interrupt. Because it's saying I'm at AA99 when it should be here. I'm gonna actually reopen the thing. B5A1. Okay. Let's close my Vice windows down. Yeah, I really want to avoid my most watched stream being me just asleep on my keyboard as a kind of comedy thing. I can't imagine people watching it for very long, but I can imagine it being clipped with weird situations where maybe I wake up half drunk and go "Ugh," and then go back to sleep again. So I'd like to avoid that if possible. Okay, I need to turn the joystick on. Okay, let's see. There we go. We broke at this point now. Okay. And the X raised to is 75, so this would imply that this score is going to go up to 2605 when I restart, which it has. Okay. So the question is, what is calling that with the value of 75? But I've hunted for this value and I cannot find it anywhere. So these are the locations that's jumping to it. This is what I thought was doing it because it's got 50 in it, but it doesn't look like it's 50, it's 75. Better than people who stream themselves masturbating. Really? Oh my god. But do you think that's in fact I don't even want to talk about that. It's not worth talking about. I can't even believe I started to think about that. So yeah, this is this weird jump table. So I think this is just it's jumping to this location instead of directly to it for whatever reason. And again, we just get this same list of values. Now, actually, I wonder if one of these values is self-modifying, if there's something that's changing one of these values. So I'm going to put these breakpoints back in. Now the breakpoints seem to be working again. I'm going to see if we can get to one that actually is triggered and see what happens. B8, and then what time are we on? Yeah, we'll do another 10 minutes I think, and then I'm gonna have to call it, unfortunately. It's weird with these streams that some games I'm really confident going into them, and this was one of them, and actually it turns out that things aren't quite as straightforward as they seem, and I don't get anywhere near as much done as I thought. And then there's other games like Barbarian where I was really not confident about how we were going to do it, and we ended up knocking it out of the park on that one and getting quite a few backgrounds in and really understanding how the code worked, which was a very bizarre thing. There we go. So 8. Okay, so this is the one that's being called A8B4. It's definitely only being called with 1 and 0, 0, which would imply 100. So I would expect when I start this for this to go to 2705. Yeah, the frog colour was it? Yeah, it was. I don't know why it was as well. It doesn't seem to be being set anywhere, and it makes no sense to me at all. Yeah, I'm not sure why it was doing that at all. Very bizarre. And that's normally one of the easiest things to do, change the sprite colour. But yeah, it just depends on how the code is set out. So search for a... Yeah, I just want to see... So this function is the one that's about to be called, which should update the score. It should update it based on these values here, which implies 100. This is the upper byte, this is the lower byte, and it's in binary coded decimal. So I would expect this to go to 2705, and it doesn't. It goes to 2655, so it has gone up 50. I wonder if there's something in that routine which is actually half in this value. So if I change that value, A8B3, yeah, if I change that value to, I don't know, 08, does it actually add 400 onto my score whenever this happens? So I've hit that point. I'm at 2655. And no, it's just added 50 again. It's almost like if this value is 0, it just adds 50. So let's follow that thought through. Let's go back to P5A1 again. So this is the bit that's just deciding whether or not we're player 1 or player 2. X is transferred to the accumulator, which is 0 at this point. Then we add it to the lowest bit of the score, which is this bit here. So you can see 2705, 2705. So it adds nothing to it. And we store it back. Then we load the value in the next space, and we push the accumulator onto the stack. Okay, interesting. So we load the value, so we load 27, we put it on the stack. Then we take the value in the Y. Why is it being pushed onto the stack? That's weird. Oh, here we go. This is doing something weird. So it's taking the value back off the stack, clearing the decimal flag, ending it with... So it's taking the top byte of it here. Then it's taking the new version of that. V5D3. Comparing it with... What? I'd need to sit down with pen and paper and work this out. This is bizarre. So this seems to be a normal adding routine. So this is adding to 4 locations. It's adding 2 bytes to 4 locations. So it's adding to these 2 locations, and then if there's any carry, it's carrying them over. That's normal. But for some reason, this byte is pushed onto the stack, and I've just, damn it. This byte is pushed onto the stack here. And the rest of it behaves like normal. It's, you know, it's pushing that value to a stack. It's transferring the value in Y. So yeah, it's doing the rest of it. So it's taking that value before it's added to, pushing it to the stack. Then here it's pulling it back off the stack. It's taking the top nibble, and then it's pushing that to the Y register. Then it's loading the new value of this, taking the top nibble, comparing it with, if it's 4, the top number is 4 or 5, then it does something different. This is really, really bizarre. I'm not sure what is going on there. Modifying, yeah, I'm not sure. Whatever it's doing, for some reason, it's only adding 50. At any point, it's only ever adding 50. And it doesn't make any sense why it would be doing that. Because this looks like it should be doing lots of things. I wonder what happens, or what was 52 again? That was... Didn't I write that down? No, 52 was play a live. This is... I know what this is. This is checking. Okay, so what this is doing, this is taking this value here, and it's checking to see if it wasn't 40, and now it's 50. In other words, you've gone from 4,000 to 5,000, and then it gives you an extra life. It's increasing the extra lives by 1 here. It seems a very weird way about doing it, but that seems to be what it's doing. So it still doesn't explain. So that bit's the extra lives. That doesn't matter because it immediately exits there. Something in here though is making it only add 50 instead of 100, and I cannot explain that. Well, we can kind of test this out. So if we go in our in here again. Okay, so let's store some values. So let's load. Actually, let's load some values and store them. So let's load 5 and store it at 01. It doesn't really matter. This is not a true processor stack we're in. 20, store that at 02. Right, there's our 0 bit. So this is 0520, and we're going to take X and Y, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to put X as 0, and we're going to put Y as 1, and then we're going to do exactly what it does here. So we're just going to do it on 2 values instead of 3. So we're going to take that, and we're going to add it to this lower byte. In fact, we'll do this. So this is 205. So we'll use this as the lower bit, so it matches. So we transfer the X to the accumulator. Oh no, this is doing. Wait a minute. Transfer X to the accumulator. Okay, yeah. So we don't care about this bit, because this bit is the player 1 or 2 thing. So we'll just clear the carry bit, and we'll add this location to it. We don't need the comma X. We'll store that at 01. We're not going to do this this bit because this is the extra lives thing. So we're just going to transfer the Y to the accumulator, and then we're going to add 02, and then we're going to store that at 02. Okay, and then when we're finished, I'm just going to load X with I'll do it like this, and then it reads kind of in the correct order on there. Assemble that and run 2105. So we were 20, wait a minute, yeah, 2005, and now we're 2105. So it's adding 100. I don't understand why it's only adding 50. That doesn't make any sense. Why would it only add 50? The routine is explicitly saying add 100. We should be able to see it in here. Actually, we should be able to see X and Y register when we start and shoot something. Oh, Has it gone to a weird place now? A8, A8, what's that? Yeah, so we're at that location. Actually, RX is now 75. What? Oh, it is here. A8, B4. Oh, hang on. Look at this. There's a whole list of values that are called, and it branches depending on various things here. Okay, this is it then. Alright, so I think we need to change these values. I think I've got it. Okay, so let's change that one to... Let's change that to 250 here. So Y 02. Let's change this one to 3, so it's 375. And let's change that one to 1, so it's 125. That makes more sense. I was looking at the last value that was passed in and not looking at other things which may branch over it. This is where Infiltrator would have been a lot better for looking at this actually, because this would have been easily picked up. So I'm going to write these numbers down. So A8 9B to 01. In fact, I'm just going to copy that block of code and put it into our thing. First of all, let me just check that it's actually doing things. So we should now see what is A? It's 1 compared to 1 branch. So you've got AAB4. So we should see 250. So this should go to 3030. Yes, there we go. Right, okay. I hope this game doesn't keep me awake tonight. Yeah, me too. I've got a busy day tomorrow. I really don't want to be staying up all night. So I'm going to just add this block of code in. So we're going to copy it from here. A898. A898. And I'm just going to copy it line by line. So load X with 25. I have to put this in. It's always hexadecimal in here, but in here you have to add it in explicitly, otherwise it will be decimal. So that's 125. Compare 0 A8B4. So we'll call that execute. So it doesn't really matter what we call it. And that's going to be jump subroutine A964. And then, so that would be branch if equal to execute. Then I think we can pretty much copy this block because it's the same all the way down. It's just the values that change. So it's 1, 2, 3 of these. So 1, 2, 3, with the values going to 250. 01, 375, 02. So this accumulator at this point is probably some kind of ID for the enemy that you're killing. And I don't know what this last one is, but it was at 100, so I'm going to change it to 500. So 0, 05 like that. I'm going to indent all of that just so it looks kind of correct. Oops. For some reason when you indent on Sublime it kind of deletes things. Cool. Right, and unfortunately I can't get to that level, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be fine. Yeah, I can't get to that level, and I'd need to play it through. But what I can do is I can actually compile this and load it up in Vice. I really wish it would start with sound on. I don't know why that is, but for some reason there's probably another piece of code that needs adding to set the correct player modes. Going to quickly look in here. I apologize that this is not the easiest window to read on stream. I just want to compare the code that I've just added to the code that I'm seeing in the debugger, just to make sure it matches. 898. There we go. So load X with 25, load Y with 1, compare 0, A8B4, 52, 1, A8B4, 75, 32, A8B4, 05, A9X, 6F, RTS, DX. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Cool, I think we'll call it a night then there. Thank you for coming along to the stream tonight, guys. Thank you for the raid, everybody who came along with Amiga Bill. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. It's not been as productive as I'd have wanted tonight, but this is the way it goes with these streams. We never really know what we're going to get ourselves into with these games. It's not been bad though. We've done a few little things here and there. We've had a look at how the code works. We kind of get an idea for how Nebulus's tower effect works. And I will see you guys on Saturday, assuming you're all about and you're up for it. Let's give Zork a raid. I think he's there again. I do like to raid Zork. He raids back, so it's good. It's always interesting to see what he's up to. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for all the subs. Yeah, I will see you guys. I will do this raid now, and as soon as I've ended the stream, I will upload this to GitHub. It will be available 5 to 10 minutes after the stream, and I'll see all you guys on Saturday. Why has that not worked? It never works from that room for some reason. Let me do it from the main room. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to get those character sprites in this week, and I think it's going to be nice because we're actually going to have something that's going to very, very closely resemble a game, so it's going to be kind of cool. Yeah, so thanks for the stream, guys, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Cheerio.